And I've now got somebody from Capernwray Hall whose name is Marius. Hello, Marius.
Hello.
So just really briefly, you're working for Capernwray Hall, but what's your role here?
So my role, I have, two main roles. I'm doing audio visuals, and I'm also a guest team worker. So.
Okay, audio visual makes sense to me, but what's the guest team part? Do you help with the people who are coming, or is that something different?
So in terms of guest team, we interact with all the different guests. We invite them onto the premises. We show them to their rooms. We basically help them throughout the week get more comfortable and enjoy their time here. Yeah.
So really, it's just, I suppose it's meeters and greeters, effectively. Cool. Okay. So what brought you to Capernwray? I mean, I'm guessing you're not necessarily local, but what brought you to working here?
So my sister, she came here around 4 or 5 years ago to do a holiday here. It was for the age group of like 11 through 13, I think, and she just recommended it to me. And I came for the holiday they hold for 18 through 25s. And I forget the name of it. I think it was Impact Week. It was a lot of fun, so I was like, I might as well hang around for a bit, and I decided to volunteer for for last week, this week, and next week.
So you obviously have enjoying what you do. So what's the accent? I can't quite work out where you come from. Where are you from originally?
So I'm originally from Northern Ireland, but my accent does change quite a lot. Because of my many friends, I've picked up accents from all over the place. So, yeah.
It's really good fun chatting to somebody who's internationally minded, not necessarily from another country, because they change their accent. I mean, I'm originally from Wolverhampton, which is the West Midlands, which is a very strong accent. I spent a year in Manchester and had to completely change how I spoke because the kids were saying, "What?" Yeah, but not understanding. Yeah. So we do change what we have to say. So just tell me a little bit about your journey of faith. And you're working for Capernwray Hall. So what's your journey of faith from growing up? I mean, are you church background? Is it non-church? What's your sort of encounter and experience of Jesus?
Okay. So I grew up in a Christian family, and I went to church for the majority of my life. First, 14 years, we went to this one evangelical church, and it was really encouraging for us initially, but then towards the end of that, it became quite, I used the term toxic in a loose sense, but it was, to put it nicely, my family, when we left the church, we weren't necessarily praising God. We were just getting annoyed at how people were acting. Okay. So we decided to leave that church, and then we went to a Presbyterian church for a while, and we got really, really good teaching there from the pastor, and it really encouraged us in our faith as a family. And then around 2018, 2019, we went to a different church when that pastor left, the Presbyterian, and it was a Baptist church that we stayed there for basically until COVID hit. And then once COVID hit, we weren't really sure what to do. Didn't really have a direction for a church to go to. We're kind of not really sure what to do. And then not long after that, now in 2023, I headed off to uni in Aberdeen. And as I went off to Aberdeen, I was really challenged in my faith. I came to faith. My mum thinks I came to faith when I was 4 or 5 years old, but I think I came more truthfully to faith later on in my life. I'm not entirely sure necessarily when, but I do think it was probably my mid to late teens. And then going off to uni and meeting all these different understandings of the faith and all these different religions and all these different faith systems, it really, really challenged me. And there was one guy I met in Aberdeen that he kind of went through a faith crisis, and it really helped me because he refined what he believed in, and it helped, and through what he did, it helped me understand my faith, and that was a massive encouragement for me. And then I've come to Capernwray here, and to see all these people here that are so bold for Jesus, it's beautiful.
I think sometimes people get very afraid of questioning or doubting our faith, but actually, as someone who I think possibly in some ways similar to you, I made a commitment to Christ when I was 7 and baptised at 15, and I've never really walked away from God. But there have been times when I did Christian theology at school, at A-level, sort of 16 to 18 years old, and all of a sudden I'm questioning and thinking, well, is this real? And we either get freaked out by that, or it's a really good opportunity to develop, what do I actually believe, and who really is Christ in my life? And it sounds like that's something that's similar that happened to you.
Yeah, for sure. I think for my A levels, I did religious studies, and we looked into Islam and all its different beliefs and stuff. And it's one of those things I've realized that when you look into other belief systems and other faiths, it actually helps you understand your own, in the sense that, you know, Christianity isn't all that there is, and there is other things out there. And through that realization, it helped me to really refine what I believed in, and kind of chisel away the rough edges, per se. And I think even within the Christian faith, the way there's so many denominations and so many different understandings, I find it really fascinating to be like, okay, so what does the Bible say? What does this person say? What does that person say? And like, I really, really enjoy doing that with like some of the guys I met in Aberdeen, and even just by myself.
So Northern Ireland, Aberdeen, now near Lancaster, a place called Carnforth, which you probably won't know, but if you can find Lancaster, it's not a million miles away if you're looking at a map around the world. How long are you going to be here, do you think? I mean, is this a full-time job, or is this like a summer thing? What's the sort of length of time you're going to be here?
So I volunteered for 3 weeks. So I did last week, I was doing the International Youth Week, and then this week is Team Street, as you were saying earlier, and then next week is All Together Week, which is basically you have kids from all the way down from like infancy all the way up to old people. Wow. So it's going to be interesting. But I was originally going to volunteer the week after the impact that I did, but that changed as I was traveling off to Romania to see my grandparents. Yeah. I'm doing it for these 3 weeks and then heading back to uni pretty much. So. Okay,
so back to university, and have you got any sort of future plans? I mean, are you very much, I'll see what happens next year or tomorrow? I mean, do you have firm plans? Do you think you know what God's calling you to do, or are you just taking it step at a time?
I think at the minute, my decision is, so I'm studying geography in Aberdeen, and I'm at the stage now, I'm heading into second year there, so it's a 4-year course, and my kind of choice at the minute is either to go down the route of academia and staying in university, or either to specialise in a certain subject within geography. The two at the minute being either glaciology or oceanography. And my kind of reasoning behind it is I kind of want to get more into the scientific realm and challenge the atheistic standpoints, because I think there's not all that many Christian scientists per se, or geographers in general as well. And I think there really does need to be a presence of Christians there, challenging what atheists are proposing and bringing to light.
And I think because a biologist is more likely to listen to a biologist than they would do a driver, for example. And I think that's why it's good that we have Christians in all sorts of different spheres of life and employment places. So that's really cool. So I take it are you going straight back to Aberdeen after next week, or are you going Northern Ireland?
Well, I'm going back to Northern Ireland for a short period of time, like literally like 7-ish days, and then travelling back up to Aberdeen, because recently in my life, my mum and dad moved to Aberdeen with me.
Oh, wow.
So that's been quite a massive change, and it's been weird, because it's like you're obviously your childhood home, you're like leaving it and you're going off to this new place. But I do feel the sense of the Lord calling us to Aberdeen, in the sense that, like, I think Aberdeen is quite a forgotten about city. It's quite far removed from the rest of the British Isles, and I do think that there's definitely something the Lord wants to do there.
Fab. Thank you so much, Marius. Just hearing some of your stories, I love telling stories. As I said before, this story will be going out in the next few weeks as we're able to edit it out. So, Marius, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And next week, and you do well with your studies, and that you just know God's leading upon your life as you move forward.
Did you know Pure 24/7 Radio has a shop? Well, we do. You can buy merchandise while supporting the work that we do here. Simply head over to www.pure247radio.org/shop. That's www.pure247radio.org/shop.